This is our rapid application development practical course, and here you can see the practical schedule. So if you go to this particular link, then you can see this web page, and now I have mentioned that our goal is to complete all the sections in this web page, and after completion of these sections, actually you will be able to definitely you will be able to develop a desktop application of your own. Okay, so now in using two videos, I have already finished discussing this section, and I ask you to do these three sections at home, and now you have actually learned these concept of variables, concept of conditional logic, and concept of loops using C programming language in your first year. Okay, and therefore we do not have to waste our time to reteach the same content using C#. That's why I have assigned these three sections for you as a homework. And now in this video I am planning to discuss this section. Okay, now let's look at this web page, and now this section I have already created two videos discussing all the topics in this particular section, and this part, then this part, and this part actually I ask you to complete at home. And I hope when you start watching this particular video, you have finished these three sections. Okay, now in this video I am going to discuss this particular section, and let's click this link. Okay, now here adding menus to Windows Forms in C#. Okay, then let's see. In this section we will show how to add menus to your forms. You will add, file, edit and view menus with items on each menu and even sub menus. Here is what you will create. Okay, so now let's see Notepad in our Windows operating system, and here you can see a menu bar. Okay, now here you can see for each menu you can see items. Okay, and here you can see a sub menu as well. Okay, in that way in this video I am going to teach you how to add a menu bar like this to your desktop application. So start a new project by clicking File, New Project from the menu at the top of Visual C#. Okay, so as in my previous videos, here I will be using Visual Studio IDE, and here I have to create a new project. We will be working with Windows Forms application, with the Windows Forms application. Then after I have clicked next, okay, so now it says so start a new project by clicking File, New Project from the menu at the top of Visual C#. That means here we use Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition. Create a new Windows application project call it anything you like. When your new form appears, you can add a menu bar quite easily. So now here let's give any name. I just give menus 1, let's say. Any name you can give, and let's save this one. In this folder I had already created this folder, so let's save our project in that folder. After that you press create button. Now you can see the empty form. Have a look at the toolbox on the left of Visual C#. Here Visual C# means our Visual Studio Community Edition IDE, okay, 2019. Now have a look at the toolbox on the left, as well as the command control tools. There is a section for menus and toolbars. Click the plus symbol next to this to see the following. So here, now if you look at the toolbox, under menus and toolbars, you can see okay. Now the one you want is menu strip, which is highlighted in the image above. Double click menu strip and you will see a menu bar appear at the top of your form. Now you can double click on this, then here a menu bar appears. Actually we can add items to this menu bar later. Let's do that. Now here you can see menu strip 1, okay, that is the default name given by the IDE to this menu strip. And if you want to select the menu strip, you can do it from here. If you want to select the form, now form is selected because these small white squares are around the form. If you want to select the menu strip, so you can do it from here. Now once you have selected the menu strip, you can see the properties related to the menu strip, and if you look at the name property, it is menu strip 1, okay. But notice what has happened at the bottom of your Visual C# windows, okay. So that's what I have shown you. This is the menu strip object itself. The default name for the menu strip is menu strip 1. That is the default name assigned by the IDE. If you want, you may change it as you wish. If your menu strip is not selected, you can click on this icon at the bottom. When you do, you will see all the properties for the menu strip appear in the properties window on the right hand side of Visual C#. Okay, that's what I have shown you. And adding items to your menus is quite simple. Click inside of the area at the top where it says type here. Now type the word file. Okay, so here now you can type here file and then you can press enter. Now that item has been added to your menu bar. What you have done is to create the main menu item, to add items to your file menu. Okay, now click inside the second type here area pictured above. Now type the word new, hit the enter key on your keyboard to add the menu item. Now in order to add another item here, I type new and press enter. Okay. Click back on the word new after you have hit the enter key. This will select just this menu item and no other. Once you create a menu item, it has its own properties that you can change. With the new item selected, have a look at the properties window on the right hand side of Visual C#. Now if you select this particular menu item, then properties window shows us the properties related to this particular item. Okay. The property we are interested in is the name. It's a bit too long at the moment, so change it to menu new as in the image below. Okay, so menu new. Now here actually we after we have selected this, we go to here. We can actually keep this as it is, but since it is long, we can add a name as we wish. Okay, any name we could have given. Okay, according to the website, let's give this particular name. Okay, you could have given any suitable name. Okay, menu new. Now you press enter. Okay, now the name of this particular menu item is menu new. If you scroll down, you will see a text property. It will say new. At the moment it says new because that's what you typed in the menu bar when you created this item. You could change this here if you wanted to, but leave the text property on new. Okay, now here in this menu item, text property is new. Once you have selected the menu item, okay, once you have selected the menu item, then if you look at the properties window and go to text property, there you can see new. That is the text property of this particular menu item. Okay, click back on your menu at the top of your form and then into the type here area just below new, type the word open. Now let's write here open. Okay, now we are going to add items, open and then press enter. Okay, so now yes, hit the enter key on your keyboard to create the open menu item. Change its name property just like you did for the new item. Change the name to menu open. So you can select this particular item and let's change its name property. Since it's too long, we add a short name. Okay, that's what we do here. You could have given any name. Menu open. Create a save menu item underneath open. Change its name property to menu save. Your file menu will then look like ours below. Okay, now here we add save and press enter. Once you have selected the save menu item, then you can go to the name property, then and then menu save. Okay, now you can click the save all button. We'll now create just two more menu items, a dividing line and a quit item. To create a dividing line, click inside the type here area below save. Now type hyphen just to the right of the 0 key on UK keyboard. Okay. When you press the enter key, C sharp will turn the hyphen into a dividing line. It should look like this. Okay, so if you go to Notepad, let's see the Notepad. Now here you can see between save as and page setup, you can see a horizontal line. So how can you add such a line to your application? You simply has to put this minus sign and then press enter. Then you can see a horizontal line appears. Okay, these horizontal lines actually categorize our menu items. Okay, actually then at the quit item below your dividing line, change the name property to menu quit. Okay, so then what you have to do here is let's put quit and then press enter. After selecting the quit menu item, then let's change its name to menu quit. Okay, now let's save our work. Of course, none of the menus work because you haven't written any code for them yet. We'll do that soon. In the next part, you will learn how to add sub menus. Okay, before we move to the next section, now let's run our application. Now you can see here, this is the menu bar. Here we have one item in the menu bar. Now if you click here, now you can see the items we have added. Actually when you click them, nothing is going to happen. Okay, because actually nothing happens since we have not programmed those menu items yet. Now let's go to debug and then yes, okay, now let's move to the next section, submenus in C#.NET. You can add submenus just as easily. A submenu is one that opens out from a main menu item. Halt your program and return to your form. Click on the new item to select it. You should see a type here box appear to the right of new. Click inside this box and type view project. Hit the enter key and type view files. In the box below this, your menu will then look like this. There is a difference what is written here and this one. Anyway, let's follow the image. Okay, now here if you go here and you can add the sub menu new project and here new file. Okay, now let's save our work and then you can see the sub menu here. Okay, now let's save our work. Then sub menus, then it says when the form is run, the sub menu will look like this. Sub menus are quite easy to add. In the next lesson, you will learn how to add shortcuts to your menu items. Menu shortcuts in C#.NET. So menus usually have shortcuts. These are the underlined letters that you see when you click a menu. They sometimes have a shortcut key combination to the right of the menu item. For example, here is the file menu from Visual C# with all the underlines and key combinations showing. So here you can see P, the character P is underlined. Here also character P is underlined. Here character O is underlined. Here character C is underlined. And so here in front of this one you can see Control Shift N. That means this key combination actually is does the same thing when you click the menu item. Okay, so now here let's look at the notepad, and here you can see save means Control S. So I press Control S, then save file dialog appears like this. Okay, so those are the shortcuts. So now I am going to discuss how you can add such kind of shortcuts to your application. To see this, you need to hit the Alt key on your keyboard. When you see the underlined letters, press the key that corresponds to the underlined letter. Pressing F key, for example, will then cause the menu to drop down. Okay, so first let's see here. Now this is our Visual Studio IDE. So if I press the Alt button in the keyboard, then you can see certain characters of this main menu items have been underlined. Okay, so now that means if you press the character G, then this will be activated. Okay, after that sorry, now again I press Alt button. If we want to expand this one, I just type T. Okay, so after that then again if you need this one, I just type D. Okay, likewise you can work with keyboard. Okay, likewise you can work with keyboard. So then how can you do this? How can you add the same feature to your application? Let's see. Pressing any key of the underlined letters on the file menu will implement that menu item. In our edition of Visual C# Express, pressing the letter P only switches back and forth between the first two items. The other letters work okay though. Okay. You can also use the key combinations to the right of the menu item. Holding Ctrl Shift N at the same time will cause the new project dialog box to appear. So Ctrl Shift N, Ctrl, then this dialog appears. Okay, so in that way now here you can see Ctrl Shift N. So this key combination opens a new project dialog. Okay, now to add shortcuts to your menus, click your file item to select it. Now have a look at its properties in the property window. Scroll down until you locate the text item. To add an underline to any of the letters, you use the ampersand symbol before the letter you want to use as a shortcut. In the image below, we added an ampersand just before the F of file. Now let's see how can we add underline. Okay, so you select this, then here you can see the properties related to our file item. Then there you have to go to the text property, and in front of F character you can add ampersand symbol. Okay, now let's now here you can see the underline. Anyway, let's run our application. Now once you press the Alt button, now you can see F character is underlined. Now if you press F, that menu will be displayed. Okay, so now and here is what the menu looks like with the ampersand added. As you can see, there is now a line underneath the letter F. In the next image, we added more underlines to the rest of the file menu, and in this way we can add for new. Then in the text property, in front of N we can add an ampersand symbol. Here in front of O, here in front of S, here in front of Q. Now let's save our work. Add same underlines to your own file menu. Remember, click a menu item to select it, locate the text property and add an ampersand before the letter you want to use as a shortcut. When you run the program, don't forget to press the Alt key on your keyboard, otherwise you won't see the underlined letters. The key combination shortcuts are just as easy to add. Click your new menu item to select it. Locate the shortcut keys property in the properties window. Okay, now we are going to discuss how to add shortcut keys. Before that, let's run this and see what happens. Now you can see our application is running. When you press the Alt button on the keyboard, you can see characters. F character is underlined. When you press F, then you can see the menu, and if you press Q, actually when we press Q, this item something similar to that we have clicked, this item happens. Okay, the same thing happens as we have clicked this one. Okay, so therefore now still we have not programmed the item, and that is why we do not see any reaction from our application. Later let's program these items and see. Okay, at the moment it's set to none. Click the down arrow key to see the following options. Okay, it says now for the new item, the key combination shortcuts are just as easy to add. Click on your new menu item to select it. Locate the shortcut keys property in the properties window. Now here we select this one, and when you look at the properties window, shortcut keys now none. That means we have not yet added any shortcut keys to this item. So the modifiers are the Control, Shift and Alt keys. Okay, here you can see Control, Shift and Alt keys. You can select one of all these if you want. To activate the shortcut, you would then have to hold down these keys first. So if you want your users to hold down Control, Shift keys plus a letter or symbol, then you would check the relevant modifier boxes above. The letters and symbols can be found on the key drop down list. Click the down arrow to see the following. Now if you want to add shortcut keys, here Control, Shift, then here N, and then press enter. Now you can see here Control, Shift, N. Here also Control, Shift, N. That means this key combination will activate this one. Okay, let's now see. Then I press Control Shift N. Okay, still you cannot see anything. Okay, let's see. In the image above, we've gone for the control modifier and the letter N, clicking back on the menu. Here is what it now looks like. Okay, so now here, according to the website, they have added only the control plus N. Okay, so let's add the same thing and then save your work. So now here you can see control plus N, and as you can see, the shortcuts for the new menu item are underlined and control plus N. Have a look at the next image and add the same shortcut keys to your file menu. Now let's add these shortcut keys to our items. So if you go to here, control O, then this one control S, shortcut keys, yes, control S, this one control shift Q. In this way we can add shortcut keys. The ones you are adding are the final 3: open, save and quit. We'll get to coding the menu item shortly, but here is an exercise to complete. Don't skip this exercise because you will need the menu items. Okay, so let's I will do the exercise as well. Add an edit menu to your menu bar with the following items. Now here you can see edit, undo, cut, copy, paste. Okay, now if you select the edit menu item and go to its properties, in the text we have to, in front of E character, we have to put ampersand sign. Then in undo, in front of U character, we have to put the ampersand symbol. Okay, then not only that, then you have to go to the shortcut keys. There you have to select control and Z. Here cotton, shortcut keys control X, Then here C, sorry, here copy text property in front of C, you add ampersand, then shortcut keys paste Control Z. Include the underline shortcuts and the key combination shortcuts. Okay, we have added both underlines and key combinations. For the name property of each menu item, use the following. Now for the undo, let's change the name property, menu undo. Here name property, menu cut. Here name property, menu copy. Here name property, menu paste. Okay, likewise undo, cut, copy, paste. Okay, let's save our work. Then another exercise, add the view menu to your menu bar with the following items. Now let's see here. Before that, let's run and see. So if you click Alt button, and now here you can see the underlined ones. And not only that, then you can see now these two menus. Okay, sub menu here. Okay, likewise you can now add a menu bar as you wish to your application. Now let's see here, view, and here after that, then here we see view, B. So in front of B you have to put the ampersand symbol, and here in front of L in front of I yes. Okay, before that I have not yet set the shortcut keys. We have to select this, then here, Control Shift I. Yes, here, Control Shift I. Again, include the underline and key combination shortcuts. Set the name property of your menu items to the following. So you have to do this. So view text boxes, its name property. menu view text boxes. The next one, menu view labels. Next one, menu view images. Okay, you select this and then menu view images. Yes. Okay, it's now time to do some coding for the menu items you have created. Now, before that, let's run and see. So if you press the Alt key, you can see the underline characters. Okay, now we have finished creating the finished our menu bar, okay, including the items, and now we are going to code those items. So let's go to this part, C# code for your quit menu. Now we are going to program quit menu item. Of course, a menu is no good if nothing happens when you click an item. If we need to add code behind the menu items, we'll start with the quit item, which should be on your file menu. There is only one line of code for this. Return to your form and click the menu strip. Click the file item to see its menu. Double click on your quit item and the coding window should open. Your cursor should be flashing between the curly brackets of the quit code stub. Now, if you can remember how we have programmed a button, then simply you have to double click on here. Now the cursor is blinking inside these two braces, and menu quit is the name of our menu item, and the meaning of underscore click means the code you include here should be executed when we click the item, and still the in between these two braces you can see empty space, just because we have that's why if you click quit item, still nothing happens. Okay, let's see that. So nothing happens when you click this quit item because we have not yet written anything here. Okay, now let's try to write some code. Notice that the name you gave your menu item is used in the code stub menu quit, but when a user clicks your quit menu, you want the program to end. To close down a Windows application, you can use this. Here, let's say application, now IntelliSense appears. From that you can select this. Okay, now let's include this particular code, and then this actually closes our application. That's what the meaning of this code. Now let's see. You go to file and click quit, our application will be closed. And the other thing is, now shortcut is Control Shift Q. Now let's see Control Shift Q. Then in that situation also you can see our application is closed. Okay. So at that line of code between the curly brackets of your quit code stub, run your program and test it out. Hit the Control Shift keys and then the letter Q on your keyboard. The program should close straight away. It does this because of the key combination shortcuts you added. To see your underlined shortcuts in action, start your program again, press the Alt key on your keyboard and you should see all the underlines appear for File, Edit and View. Press the letter F on your keyboard and the menu should drop down. Now press the letter Q on your keyboard because this is the underlined letter. The program should exit. Now let's see this, how to work with underlined letters. Once you have run your program, if you do not have mouse or if your mouse is not working, you can simply press Alt key. Then out of this, if you select F, then menu related to file item will be displayed. If you press E, the menu related to edit item will be displayed. If you press V, the menu related to view item will be displayed. And I here press F. Then after that, if you press N, then the item new will be activated. And here what we want is to activate the quit item. So here I press Q. Now you can see our application disappeared. It was closed. Okay, so likewise we can work with these underlined letters. You can add more code to menu items, anything you like. In fact, something you do see on quit menus in a message box. For an example, so if you have seen in other applications you have used, usually when you click the quit or exit menu item, application is not going to be closed directly. Instead, it shows a message asking us to confirm. Okay, are you are you sure you want to exit, something like that. To add a message box to your own code, you have to try this code. Okay, now let's see. Here if message box dot show dialog result, okay, let's complete it later. Now you put two braces, and this code you have to put, you can cut this code and put that inside okay. Now here you meaning is message box, so you get the in this message box you include certain buttons. If the user's response is okay, then only this code will be executed. That's why, that's our conditional logic. Then here real liquid, okay, this is the text in our, this is the, sorry, here this is the text of our, this is the text you see in the message box, and this is the title of our message box. And then here let's add two buttons, message box buttons, okay, cancel, two buttons, okay. Now out of these two buttons, if the user clicks OK button, okay, OK button, OK button, then this line of code will be executed. Okay, now let's see. If you press OK, this line of code will be executed. So what happens if you click cancel? Nothing will happen. Okay, nothing will happen because we have not assigned any tasks when you click cancel button. It simply disappear our message box and nothing happens. Okay. The first two, yes, later let's see, again let's see. Now in this message box, in the title bar you can see exit, and in the text really quit. Understood? Now the first two lines should be one line in your code. It's only on two lines here because there is not enough room for it on this page. Okay, anyway, it says you have to write this one in a single line. Okay. This will get you a dialog box with OK and cancel buttons. C# will wait until the user clicks a button. Okay, that's what happens. When the message box appears, then C# will wait until user clicks any button. If the user clicks OK button, then this line of code will be executed. Okay, so the line reads, if the result on the dialog box was the OK button was clicked, then exit the application. Okay, that is the meaning of this conditional logic. Okay, in the next part you will see how to code for your edit menu. The edit menu, we leave the rest of the file menu till last as it's bit more complicated. Our edit menu is not too difficult as there is only one line of code for each menu item. Okay, so to see cut, copy, paste and undo in action, add two text boxes to your form. Set the multi-line property of each text box to true. This will allow you to have a text box with more than one line of text. For text box 1, type anything you like for the text property. Your form should then look like this. Okay. Now what you have to do is then here multi-line property you have text. If you have in this way, in this kind of a text box, you can add a single line. Okay, so if you need to add multiple lines, now you can see this text box you can expand only in this direction because a single line is allowed. But if you tick this multi-line property, now you can see you can expand this. Another text box you can add, and multi-line property you put a tick, then again save our work, then this is the text for text box 1. That one you can select this one, and if you look at the text property, it's empty. Now you can see the text here. This is the text for text box 1. Okay, now let's run this. Now you can see our the application we have developed. Okay, okay, now what we'll do now is to enable the cut, copy and paste menu items as well as the undo. We'll first cut the highlighted text from the text box and then undo the operation. So return to your form. Click the blue menu bar at the top and click on your edit menu. Double click the cut item. C# will create a code stub for you. If you gave your cut menu item the name menu cut, then your code stub will look like this. So now you have to go to the edit cut and you can double click on this item. Then here you can see menu cut, that is the name of our menu item. And now you can see between these two braces we have empty space. That means we have not yet programmed that. The code to cut any highlighted text is quite simple. Add this between the curly brackets of your menu cut code. Okay, now another thing, now if you select this particular text box and go to the name property, you can see the name is text box 1. If you select this one and go to the name property, you can see text box 2. Okay, these names have been assigned by the IDE, and IDE has been careful to assign unique names. Okay, this is text box 1, this is text box 2. Okay, the name should be always unique, name must be always unique. And now text box 1 cut. So this one, text box 1, cut. Okay, now that means the content available in the text box 1, we are going to cut the content available in text box 1. Okay, cut is a method that's built into C#. It works on text boxes amongst other things and does what it says. Before you try it out, return to your form and double click your undo menu item at the following line for the code. Again undo, let's say text box 1. Now try it out, run your form and highlight the text in the text box. Use your cut menu to cut the text, then use your undo menu to restore the text. Okay, now let's see. We run our application and you can select certain part like this. Then you go and go to the edit menu, cut. Okay, then again you can go to undo and undo what we have done. Okay, likewise now you know how to use cut and undo. So let's again run this, unselect the text, edit, cut. Okay, it's not going to work. Okay, it cuts only the selected text. You can also check to see if any text was selected. Change your code to this. Okay, change your code to this. Now here actually if you have not selected any text, again this cut this line of, even if you do not have selected certain text, this line of code will execute. To avoid that, you can put you check the condition text box 1 dot selected text not equals, if the selected text is not empty, then only we cut. Then only we perform the cut operation. Okay, so this way is better, because first we have to check whether a certain text has been selected, then only we execute cut operation. Okay, we are using an if statement to check a property of text boxes called selected text. This can tell you if any text is selected. Okay, selected text, if selected text is not empty, that's what we have written here. Okay, we are using does not equal operators followed by a pair of double quotes. A pair of double quotes with no spaces means that it's a blank string of text. Okay, meaning of this one is it is a blank string. empty string. Okay, if no text was selected, then if statement is true, in which case the cut operation can go ahead. So there is a problem with this line. Okay, if a certain it should be other way around. If text was selected, then the if statement is true, in which the case the cut operation can go ahead. Okay, now let's move to the next line. Let's paragraph. You can manipulate selected text with the selected text property. In the code below, we are handling the selected text to a string variable and displaying it in a message box. Okay, now we can do let's write a particular code and see. We can declare a string variable we declare a string variable, and here instead of this okay, now here we select some text and then we display the selected text we display. Okay, likewise you can do that. Okay, let's change the code to the previous again. Now for the undo menu, you might want to check if the operation can actually be undone. If you want to check for this, there is another property of text boxes called can undo. You use it like this. Therefore, still we do not know. Sometimes if we have not done anything, then what to undo? Okay, that is a problem. No, therefore we have to allow undoing only when we have done something. Therefore so we can write a better code here. We check first whether if something we have done. Can undo true, then after that we put this line of code there. Okay, Now we perform undo operation only we have done something. If we have not done anything, then undoing can cause an error. Okay. Only if the operation can be undone will the code for the if statement execute. However, if you run your program and cut some text, clicking undo twice will first restore the text and then cut it again. You are undoing the restore. Okay, so that means, so if you look at this now here, you cut certain text, then again you undo, again you undo, again you undo. Okay, likewise you can see undoing the previous operation. Okay, always you undo the undo what you have done in previous situation. So if you modify, however, if you run your program and cut some text, clicking undo twice will first restore the text and then cut it again. You are undoing the restore. To remedy this, you can clear the undo operation, change your code to this. The new line is in black bold text below. Okay, so now here here we can do something like that. This text box 1 clear undo. Okay, we clear the history. That means if we clear undo, then it cannot be again undone. That means now here we select some text, then we cut it, then we again when we undo, again text will appear, but now we have cleared the undo. Okay, again we cannot undo. That's why when you click undo, nothing is going to happen because we have cleared undoing process. Okay, so in that way you can modify your code. So you just add the clear undo method after the dot of text box 1, try it again, and you will find that clicking undo twice won't cut the text again. In the next part, you will see how to copy and paste in C#. To copy something to the clipboard. Clipboard means something like if you copy some text, that text is stored in clipboard. Okay, memory area. For the time being, just think it is a memory area. Once you have cut or copied a text, that text is stored inside the clipboard. To copy something to the clipboard, you highlight text and click a copy item on an edit menu. Once the data is copied to the clipboard, it can be pasted elsewhere. We'll implement this with our menu system. Double click the copy item on your edit menu. You will be taken to the code desktop for your copy menu item. Add the following code between the curly brackets. Okay, so now if you go to our copy and double click. Okay, now here okay, now here instead of this we may put mnu copy as well. Okay, mnu copy. Okay, okay, in that way here the name of our this item mnu copy. Now cursor is blinking there, so what you should do is here also using the copy method of text boxes is enough to copy the data onto the Windows clipboard, but you can first check to see if there is any highlighted text to copy. Change your code to this. Now we have to check, before copying we have to check whether we have selected anything. Otherwise, if you have not selected anything and trying to copy, that is an error, no? Therefore, text box 1 dot selection length, that should be greater than 0, and after that edit, copy. Now this selected text has been copied to the clipboard. Okay, now again we are using an if statement. Again this time we are checking the selection length property of the text boxes. The length returns how many characters in the text that was selected. We want to make sure that it's greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0 number of characters we have selected, that is the condition we check. We'll use the second text box to paste. So access the code stuff for your paste menu item using the same technique as before. Add the following between the curly brackets of your paste code. Okay, now here we just go to the paste, then there you Let's use text box 2. Other text box we paste. Okay, now the other problem here, notice that we are now using text box 2 and not text box 1. After the dot you only need to add the paste method. Now let's see this. So now we select a particular text, then go to edit and cut. Okay, now the selected text was copied to the clipboard, then again we go to edit and click paste. Okay, then again if you go to edit and paste, again it will be pasted, again it will be pasted, again it will be pasted, and so on. So how can you, yes, let's see, try your edit menu out again, highlight the text in the first text box, click edit copy. Now click into your second text box and click edit paste. You can also check to see if there is any data on the clipboard, and that it is text and not say an image. Add this rather long if statement to your code. Yes, now here if clipboard dot get data object get data present here data formats dot text, if this is true, that means if something is available in the clipboard, we have to paste only if something is available on the clipboard. If the clipboard is empty, we cannot paste. Pasting is an error if the clipboard is empty. First you check whether, using this part, you check whether the clipboard has something to paste. Okay, so and also it is a text. Understood? Now in the clipboard, if we have text, then only we can paste it to a text box. If in the clipboard, if you have an image and if we try to paste it to a text box, then that causes an error. That's why here we check that the format of the data is text, then we execute textbox2 dot paste code. Okay, then the other thing is, now earlier you have seen, once you have pasted, again you can paste, again you can paste, and so on. How can you stop that? Once you have pasted, you can clear the clipboard. Now let's see. Once you have run, then you select certain text, then edit, copy, then edit, paste. Again if you click paste, nothing happens because we have cleared the clipboard. Clipboard is empty now, therefore nothing is pasted. Okay, so in that way you can code getting at the data on the clipboard can be tricky, but we are checking to see what the data format is. If it's text, then the if statement is true and the code gets executed. Notice the last line though, clipboard.clear. As you'd expect, this clears whatever is on the clipboard. You don't need this line, however, so you can delete it if you prefer. See what it does both with and without the line. Okay, so if you in the next part we'll code for the view menu. Anyway, now let's see, if you do not include this part, okay, then what happens? I have already shown you. Okay, so anyway, what happens? Copy, then edit, paste. Now clipboard is not cleared. Again, okay, any number of times you can do that, but once you clear the clipboard only one time, you can paste, then the clipboard is empty. Okay, and in that way, now this is how you, now if you want to close your application, you can go to file and then close solution. Okay, likewise, then okay, now we have finished up to this section. Then let's go back. We have finished now in this video. We have finished these 6 sections. Okay, so if you look at this part, now we have finished 6 subsections of this particular section, and that is the end of this video. And in another video I will discuss the other sections, and thank you for watching.